Andorra was the main goal of this trip. After spending a little time there, Sorrel started to get itchy feet. So we looked at our options and she was really keen to go to the Alps.
And you haven't shot it either. Got that as a blooper,
We only had 2 weeks for this whole trip, and if we had more time we would have taken our time between the Pyrenees and the Alps and explored more. But due to our short time limit, we had to blast out the motorways for the next day to get to where we wanted. Of course this is rather boring, so we didn't film it at all. The completely flat landscape turned into foothills and eventually into large mountains covered in snow. We had finally arrived at the Alps. We hadn't seen any fuel stations for over 100 miles, and at this point we were almost running on fumes. So we pushed on to Jausiers in hope, and luckily we did find 2 fuel stations there. As you can see on the look of Sorrel's face, we were so tired and hungry, and the last news we wanted to hear was that the restaurant in the accommodation was shut for renovations. Luckily enough, there was one restaurant in the whole town open for dinner, so we had a nice fresh pizza to eat. This little bar and hotel, which is very popular amongst motorcyclists, even had its own fuel pump. We really wanted to do this mountain pass. The locals and the staff at the accommodation advised us it was likely shut due to the snow drawing in the night before, which was rather annoying because days prior had been open. They told us to check the sign on the gate at the beginning of the pass, and once we arrived there it informed us that the pass was shut. So we set course to another mountain pass, Col du Vars. If we hadn't been using the drone so much, we wouldn't have missed lunch in the nearby town. Luckily, a nice Lebanese restaurant owner took pity on us and served us some food even though everywhere else was closed. This set us up for our last leg of the journey into Italy. We noticed Italy had more to offer at this time of year, with bars and shops and restaurants being open. We were able to enjoy our last few days before heading back to England. We were just messing around for fun at this point, just taking it easy and enjoying the views.
Driver mode. Okay, just checking. Okay. Fucking back end slid out there.
I said it before and I'll say it again. On mud, the BMW R90 handles like a drunk camel on roller skates.
I know.
This trip was a perfect send-off to R90, and it got me thinking about my next bike. I had to get a Tuareg 660. It made sense, but it means we would have the same capabilities off-road, meant the same servicing items, tools, spares, and general knowledge of the vehicles, and of course, fuel range.
Yeah. Just got out of your way basically. Keep one or two fingers over the clutch lever so you can pull it in if needed so you don't stall.
This was the little ski town where we were staying. I'll put the name on screen because I dare pronounce it myself.
Much nicer way back. Okay. The garage, I'll go in first in case it's shut or anything. Well, you know, if it's clear, you can just roll in, a bit of rear brake, a bit of clutch. No clutch. Rear brake. No, well, yeah, actually, maybe, yeah, you clutch in and rear brake. Yeah, it's fine, no one's here, just roll straight in and you're fine.
For the way home we booked the Cherbourg to Poole ferry this time, with a flexible ticket, We originally planned to do a 1,000-kilometre journey over 2 nights, but since we made up good time on the motorway, there was no point hanging around, as we didn't have time to see anywhere nice. We were just blasting out the motorways, which became dull and boring. If we could wish for one thing, it would be able to have longer trips, but for now, due to commitments back home, we have to do these short stints and prioritise getting to places we want as quickly as possible.
No, going left at the end. Going left.
The sat-nav took us through Mont Blanc. We had no idea that it would try and charge us €38 each. For some reason, because I paid on card, when I got home, the money was returned to my bank account. Unlucky for Sorrel, she paid cash. Even though Mont Blanc is only 12 kilometers long, it seemed to go on forever. We had never been in such a long tunnel, but it was so hot. I cannot stress this. If you've been there through on a motorcycle in gear, you will know what I'm talking about. Soon as we left the tunnel, we were greeted by this weather. It went on for hours, but hats off to my gear, I did not get a single drop of water through, and I remained dry the whole time. And like that, it was the end of our mini trip. We've learnt a few things, particularly to do with filming and editing. On our next trip, we've got a very special trip planned next year for a very special occasion. We're taking our own bikes to Iceland for our honeymoon. Very excited about this. We'll try and do daily updates, and we'll both have microphones in the helmets, and you'll be able to hear things real time, not just talking about it in hindsight.